Hello and welcome to Street Fighter Alpha 3. Can you believe that? Street Fighter Alpha 3. And it's the RetroTech 120p challenge, where you can have as many practice runs as you want. But as soon as you press record, you get 2 credits and that's it. I was doubly cool this week because I used 1 credit. Not because I finished the game, no, because 2 people rang me up while I was doing exceptionally well for me at a one-on-one beat 'em up, and it caused me to get very angry and pull the controller and throw my phone in the bin because it kept ringing, because I lost quite late on in the game without losing a credit, so I never got to use my second credit because my controller wouldn't work afterwards. Welcome to the RetroTech 10p challenge for shirty boys who have shirts that are shirty. Yes, Anthony, one of them was you. Stop ringing me up. So this is Street Fighter Alpha 3. It came out in 1998, the cosmic year of 1998, when that Godzilla film came out, if you remember that. Not the good ones, the ones with Matthew Broderick in it, that one. It was the year before Phantom Menace came out. Sakura here on the screen, kicking her shoe off, has never seen the Phantom Menace at this point because it's not come out. She's never been introduced to Jar Jar Binks, nor Dexter Jettster from the sequel, the guy with the arms, nor General Grievous or Commander Cody. She has no idea who any of these people are, nor does the other girl, Karen. Not the same sort of Karen, different haircut, hasn't had a go and at you for no apparent reason, doesn't have an opinion on black people, and doesn't want to speak to your manager. There are Karens that don't do that, I'd like to point out at that point. So yes, 1998. This is the final and last in the very confusing, and I dare for someone to explain how this series works, Alpha series, which is like a prequel series to the Street Fighter games, even though Sagat's got a scar across his chest in this. I don't know how it could be a sequel to Street Fighter 1 because it gets that at the end of Street Fighter 1. Is this a sequel? I don't know how it works. Is Alpha before Street Fighter 1? And is Alpha 2 after Street Fighter 1? Someone explain it to me. Someone explain how the chronology of this nonsense works. This was Sean's choice because it's a fighting game, isn't it? Anything that's not a fighting game or has got polygons in is crap. This came out on the PlayStation 1, the Dreamcast, the Saturn, the Game Boy Advance, which had a big old cast of characters in that one, by the way. It also came out on the PS2 as part of the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, the PSP, the PlayStation Network, and then it came out on the PlayStation 1, the Xbox, and the Steam and Switch in 2018 as part of another pack, 30th anniversary I think of Street Fighter. So there's different lineups in each. The Game Boy Advance one had Maki from Final Fight 2 in it. There's a deep cut. She was another underdressed lady, as a lot of these are in this genre. So yes, what a game this is. A classic, if you like this sort of thing. And it actually, you know what, I did have a lot of fun playing it until people were ringing me up. And I'm very grumpy tonight because initially I had issues putting my computer on today. My password wouldn't work. Normally I've already done all this by Sunday evening. I've normally set everything up, got it all ready to go. But yeah, I've just had an awful day with this game. And much shorter game, please, next time, that isn't got a stupid setup and everything. Crikey. But yeah, anyway, let's do the general facts of the week. I can speak quite slowly in this because I've got a little while to go. So let's talk about... So basically, there's another tricky one this week. There is some animals in this game. There's a lot of humans in this game, and humans are known to fornicate. But I thought, I chose my character based on my choice of genital facts this week. Sakura, who, as you know, is a schoolgirl. No, don't worry, it's not about schoolgirls. Don't get your glitter sweat on. Don't start reporting my hard drive to anyone. It is because she is a fan. She's a fan of Ryu. And as she's a fan, what is another thing that's a fan? Onlyfans, of course. Onlyfans. I'm going to give you some facts about Onlyfans, which you may have heard of. I do like that little dance she does. It's a cool dance. So yeah, Onlyfans. Believe it or not, it's only been going since 2016, the end of 2016. Yeah, at that, so by the time of this recording, only about like 6 years. You just think it's been around longer than that. I don't know. Maybe you don't. It was started in London by a British man called Tim Stokely. While it has been used by other content creators such as musicians and fitness experts and just general celebrities and things like that, and your cosplayers, of course. It's mainly been used by sex workers to show off their anatomy in various states of both undress and usage. So yeah, it's quite, there's a mixture of opinions based on it. So I guess if you've got money to burn and you really like somebody, you can show your appreciation with money, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's great for the people in the videos themselves because if you're a sex worker, previously to make money it was pretty tricky. You can sort of govern your own money, I guess, coming in, and you don't have to go into a seedy back alley with a middle-aged man and have him finger bang you. So that's pretty good, isn't it? Instead, you can just sort of paywall your content, and then sell it to people. And yeah, there is a certain amount of particularly in our kind of field of like YouTube and the retro gaming scene, where there's a few younger ladies coming in and they hold a controller and they say, "Oh, do you remember this game? Do you remember Mario 2? It was Doki Doki Panic. Here's a link to my OnlyFans." And you just think, yeah, okay, whatever. And there's an element of that. But that's, it's working because there is a lot of lonely men in the retro gaming scene who will go, this young lady, if I give her enough money, I'll get to see her boobies and maybe she marry me one day. But they rarely will. But yeah, so OnlyFans has had some run-ins with the law due to some users being underage, both as creators and subs. I suppose it is hard to govern this kind of thing. But it is, as I say, a safe way for attractive people to make an absolute killing merely by flashing an areola or a tiny piece of scrotal flesh. Just like a little peek out the side of your shorts there. The most likely user of OnlyFans, which will come as no surprise, are white heterosexual males. No surprise there. However, surprisingly, and I found this surprising, 89% of those men are married. That's one to explain, isn't it? What's this? Who's this on? What's this doing on your bank account? 89% though of users are married. There you go. So the top 5 OnlyFans accounts as of December 2022, and I'm going to list them. And maybe, if I've not completely had my brain broken by doing this video tonight, they are Mia Khalifa, who you might have heard of, or if you frequent certain sites, who raked in $6.42 million in a month from this. Tiger with 7.69 million a month. Cardi B is next at number 3 with 9.43 million in a month. Bella Thorne, who's at 11 million, but they're all topped off by Black China. No relation to WWE China in negative colours. She's dead. But she managed to coin it in at £20 million a month on average. So yeah, curse my poor genetics and being born with the wrong set of genitals and at the wrong time. Yeah. So yeah, that's Onlyfans. So yeah. And of course, there's some Onlyfans characters who probably dress as Street Fighter characters. It's Onlyfans characters. Onlyfans creators who dress as, I would imagine. Yeah. So that's sort of tied in as well, isn't it? But yes, we're coming up to the point where I get my first phone call soon. You don't hear it. I've decided to quell my swearing. But it was very annoying at the time. But anyway, what have I got coming up this week? I do apologise for bombarding everyone's timelines with those short things. It has lost me subscribers, so don't worry. It was just something new I was trying, and to get my audience a bit bigger, but it's sort of been counterproductive. But I thought it was a way I could, get some of the wrestling content out there, given that it's WrestleMania coming up. So I do apologise for those. There is still more to come, unfortunately. Deal with it. But yeah, I've got a proper wrestling one this week. Video coming up. No, next week. Next week's the wrestling video, because WrestleMania's Sunday or Saturday next week. So this week I've got Howard the Duck coming up. A video I had to slightly rush this week because I've had a super busy week. And so yeah, Howard the Duck. It's unbelievable that I've never covered this game, which is on the games based on flop movies sort of sub channel I've got, series I've got. I've never covered Howard the Duck. I think I saw Slope's video, and it was way better than anything I could do. So I was like, if I leave it enough time, I can release my piece of crap and it'll do all right. All right comparatively, not as well as Slope's one. And yeah, I uploaded it, and I've noticed there's a few times where I've made a couple of errors in there to do with glitching, to do with the PNGs not working properly. But I just, it's up, and I need to take more time on videos again. Maybe I need to go bi-weekly. I don't know. So next week is the wrestling one, and then after that I've got to try and get some other stuff working. The Mysterious Cities of Gold. I thought it was on the DS. It's actually on the 3DS, so I've got to try and get my 3DS emulator working. That'd be interesting. And then I'm going to do some videos to do with Russell Kane. Who's Russell Kane? Oh, he's the comedian. Russell Grant's astronomy. Astrology is the crap one. And Alan Carr's smoking. I thought I'd just try some niche subjects for a bit. But yeah. So once I got one of my friend basically called me up during this fight and I nearly lost. And then Anthony called me up during the Sagat fight and I did lose. And that's when I threw my controller in the bin and my phone in the bin. They both ended up in the bin. And then I was like, I better go and use the second credit. Got the phone out of the bin, put it to one side, and put it on airplane mode. And then I got the controller out of the bin and plugged it in. And it didn't work because it was in the bin. It was like, well, you didn't want me. I'm in the bin now. Sod off. So yeah, let's just talk about RetroTech 120p challenge again. So yeah, if you want to join in, please do. Get your ass to Mars. Get on Facebook. Go down to the RetroTech Arcade Challenge and join RetroTech if you haven't already. There's lots of nerds talking about games that you probably played when you were a gamete. And then once you're part of that group, you can play. And you can play this week's game, which is, of course, this And then if you compete in the challenge, you do get to then choose a game the following week, which goes on this big prizey spinny wheelie spinny wheel, and then yeah, you get to maybe we'll play your game next week, and maybe you're good at it. There is a full list of games that are up, but yeah, that we've played already. We won't be playing the same ones again, but I'm sure there's a variant of a game you like that you can play. Find something niche, please. I prefer playing niche games because I don't know. There's more magic in that. Yeah, I've lost my first battle there. He hasn't rung me yet. So yeah, get on that, and then you don't get any prizes for winning. You just get the kudos, and you get to join in a fabulous little group, and you've got an excuse to upload a video, which is always good. And you can talk about Onlyfans creators like Mia Khalifa. So yeah, anyway, my Mogo is coming to an end. It lasts a while, this game, doesn't it? Crikey. I've reached the point where I've run out of things to talk about. So I don't know how Christian does it every week with his tape video. What's on the tape, because he manages to fill all the airtime up. It's truly an impressive feat. So yeah, that's the end of my go. I'll show you in a minute how the controller is in the bin at this point. I'll let this count down a bit while I go and fish it out, and then I struggle to get the USB to plug it. It's a PS4 pad. I'll be buying a new PS4 pad, and then I sort of desperately pressing buttons, and the USB cable sort of connecting and unconnecting. Anyway, it was a really embarrassing moment in my life. And yeah, this is where my go ends, because that's my second credit is there on this screen, right there. Not able to do anything. But thanks for joining me on this adventure, I'd say, into the consciousness of a crazed man who's having a miserable old time. And like, subscribe, and K, thanks, bye.